Good evening and welcome to the Schumacher Racing League for another race in their 2023 or 2024 Blaze Designs Cup Series. Today we are at Motegi, or my mistake, Mobility Resort Motegi. It used to be called Twin Ring Motegi, but they've recently changed it to now Mobility Resort Motegi. We're racing at the Oval here in Motegi, Japan for 180 miles. If I'm not mistaken, that equates to about 150 laps. Qualifying is just about to end right now. Got 5 seconds left currently. Our qualifying leader is James Thurston 3 in the number 96. So as practice finishes up, we're gonna head over onto qualifying. And let's get on with the weather report. Currently, it is a nice and brisk 81 degrees here at Motegi. The winds are blowing southwards and now southwest at 2 miles an hour. The forecast is going to be partly cloudy over the track. Excuse me. So we're gonna have a little bit of, maybe some spots over the track where it's gonna be cooler because the sun isn't there. But I think we're gonna have an interesting race. Motegi's an interesting track. It's sort of like Darlington, but more wide and more flat. So let's see who's on track right now. If it will go to him. Okay, we are looking at Andretti Robinson in the number 60 car. He was leading for a little bit in practice, then it got taken over by James Thurston. Looks like in practice it was mostly a shootout between James Thurston and Van Drungman for who can have the top spot, but it looks like that went to James Thurston. Andretti Robinson starting his first lap. I'm not sure whether the first or second lap will be people's choice for flying laps. But this is pretty this looks like Andretti's doing this for a second lap. He didn't get the best entrance into turn 1. With Motegi, you really want to keep it pinned to the line, because it's not like Darlington. Just because it has 2 separate corners doesn't mean that you can run all the way near the wall. So Andretti Robinson starting his flying lap number 2. This is the lap that counts. Into turn 1. Running a little bit higher than I think most people would normally run. But gets a good exit, nice run down the backstretch. Doesn't clip the wall. It's very easy to get loose in these cars on the exit. Looks like he does a nice job of keeping it still on exit into turns 3 and 4. Didn't get down as fast as I'd think he should, and that would put him in, let's see, the 4th position. So not a bad run at all for Mr. Robinson. As looks like he's just doing extra laps to get some of that, to get some more practice in at a race pace. But also have Van Drummond here in second. He was just under a 10th off of the leader, Jacob Wilkerson. So he will have to settle for second place after completing his laps. Jacob A. Wilkerson set a 37.435. Let's see, is there anyone else who is actually doing laps right now? Wyatt Roberts, Matthew Miles, Andretti Robinson still doing laps. And Caleb McKinney sets 6th place time with a 37.622. So that's just under 2/10 off pole time, but you never know with these races. You never know how well qualifying could impact the race. It could mean a whole lot if there's no passing, and it could mean nothing if there's a ton of passing. That's the beauty of oval track racing. Can't get enough of it here in SRL, even if we do run a lot of road courses since we just went to Mid-Ohio. But here in Motegi, I'm not sure if this is used very much in real life anymore. I think they only use the road course layout for sports car racing. I don't remember the last time anything happened on the oval. So as qualifying time winds down, with 10 seconds remaining, we'll get to your starting lineup in just one moment. Okay. So we have 120 laps here at Mobility Resort Motegi. Starting off on pole is the 430 of Jacob A. Wilkerson. On his outside is Van Drummond. Starting off row 2 in position number 3 is James Thurston in the 96 with Andretti Robinson. A valiant effort for him in qualifying, starting in P4. P5, Sean Rowe in the 990. Next to him is Caleb McKinney starting in P6. Starting off row number 4 is Evan Allen in the 50. Good qualifying effort by him. And James Bomar in the 201 on the outside of row 4. Give me 1 second. Next page. Yep. Dominic Barbagallo starting P9, starting off row 5, and Henry Kaloff is the last car qualifying within the top 10. Row number 6, Matthew Miles in the number 30 with Joseph Lewis on his outside in row 6. Row 7 begins with Wyatt Roberts in the 42 and Michael Deitch in the number 57. Row number 8. Haven't seen this person before. Bradley Sawinski, I believe, is his name in the number 82 with Keelan Belcher, the one and only, in car number 18 on his outside. Row 9 is Malachi Drake in the 09 and Nicholas Martinez Jr. on his outside in the 48. Starting in 19th in the beginning of row 10 is Bryce Hamrick in the 94, and the last car in the top 20 is Glenn Bundren Jr. in the 37. Rounding out your final starters is Connor Zola in the 88 and Jordan Herring in the 072. So that will be your starting lineup for this race at Mobility Resort Motegi. 120 laps here at this, I believe, 1.5 kilometer track, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen or raced at Motegi in years, so. But all I know is that's a fun track. I heard it's pretty fun to drive in these cars. So we should have a pretty good race here today in the Blaze Designs Cup Series. Shout out to SKS Graphics for the ticker for tonight. Be sure to check them out if you need tickers for your professional-looking broadcasts. Anyways, Jordan Wilkerson on pole. He's gonna be the driver that starts everything off. Van Drummond had a pretty good showing at Mid-Ohio a couple weeks ago, and looking to capture a victory this season. But it's going to all be Jacob Wilkerson in the number 430, even though it says 43 on his car. Green flag is out here at Motegi. Good start by Wilkerson. Not a good start by Drummond on the outside. Looks like it wasn't in the right gear. James Thurston looking to the inside. but that's going to allow Jordan Kuntz to the inside of Thurston. Or not Jordan Kuntz. That's a very Kuntz-looking car. That is Sean Rowe. My apologies. That is Sean Rowe in the 990s. We have cars in the wall already. But James Thurston already up to second place as Jacob Wilkerson creates a couple car length gap between him and the 96. Van Drummond is the car stuck on the outside right here, and he has Caleb McKinney fighting for a top 5 right here as he gets into the wall trying to get the widest entry possible. But this is not the place you want to be in if you are Van Drummond. You do not want to be stuck on that outside because it'll eat your tires up like nobody's business. But we got some close racing here. Evan Allen in the 50 going side by side. We have some cars with damage as they're scraping the wall like crazy. Looks like the cars also get a little tight on cold tires as Caleb McKinney gets tight, has to back out of it, and can't get the run that he wants. But up front, it looks like James Thurston's all over the back end of Jacob Wilkerson. Wilkerson not getting a whole lot of time to breathe and relax now that he has James Thurston breathing down his neck right now. But it looks like Thurston did not get a good exit. Looks like he gassed it up a little bit too much on corner exit. And this is going to allow Van Drummond to his inside. Yeah, it looks like Thurston got tight. And that sacrificed a lot of exit speed. But this is Sean Rowe in the 990 right here. If I'm not mistaken, he won at Atlanta when we broadcasted that. But currently, Van Drummond has the fastest lap of the race with a 37.436. So he has speed, and he's willing to show it right now. Let's see. Dominic Barbagallo in 9th place, under attack from Henry Kaloff in the 63. This is for the last spot in the top 10, and there's some separation. Looks like we're having some nice single file racing back here, just trying to maybe tick some laps down. As Jordan Herring, I don't know if that. See, the design of that car made it look like he had a lot of front end damage. Yeah, to my iRacing burned eyes, it kind of looks like not the 72, the 28 of Joseph Lewis. Looks like there's a lot of damage on the front of that 28 car when it's actually just a paint scheme. So it's a nice optical illusion as we see Malachi Drake try to make a move on Matthew Miles for the 11th position. Doesn't seem to be able to get anything done. As we move back to Van Drummond in second place, tailing the 430 of Wilkerson. I think Drummond's gonna be content right here, right now. No need to push it really. Lap 6 out of 120, so there's going to be time to wait for tire fall off, wait for mistakes, cautions, whatever. No point in trying to push the issue too much, as Matthew Miles and Henry Kaloff have battle for the final place in the top 10. It looks like Miles is going to fall back a little bit, but he's going to be dead even pulling into the corner. Slower entry for the 63 Kaloff, but I think Miles dove in a little deep. Here comes Malachi Drake, looking to capitalize and follow through with Miles, or Kaloff, as Miles got a little bit sideways exiting the corner. And Miles will lose 2 positions to both Kaloff and Malachi Drake. Malachi Drake starting back farther than I'd expect him to. Malachi is a pretty good driver, but maybe he just maybe didn't have the qualifying session that he wanted. But we still got a long ways to go here in this race at Motegi. And going back up front, looks like James Thurston has closed the gap between him and Van Drummond, as that is a little under 2/10 just about now. This top 5 within within a second of each other. So definitely some close racing, even at the very baby stages of this race. Just excuse me for 1 second. Sorry about that. Got a message. But anyways, like I was saying, looks like Wilkerson might get a move put on him right here by Van Drummond. He wiggled a little bit out of the corner to Drummond and looking to the inside. Will he make the move or will he have to back off? Drummond looks to the inside. He's there. But will he have the drive off the corner now that he's had to compromise the exit speed by taking such a low line? And, oh, Wilkerson got tight. He had to let off the gas. Here comes Van Drummond to the lead. Van Drummond to the lead as Sean Rowe looks to the inside of James Thurston. Has to wisely back off or else he would have tagged the quarter panel of Thurston. But new leader is the 44 of Van Drummond. But how long is that going to last now that he has James Thurston on his tail now? As they're taking very wide sweeping entries into this corner. They're not taking it narrow at all. And I think what's really going to seal this is a good run into turn 3 as Sean Rowe and Jacob Wilkerson do battle. Jacob Wilkerson trying to stop the bleeding from losing those positions, and he will drop back to the 3rd position as Sean Rowe lets him in coming into turn 3. Andretti Robinson having a good run so far. Big wiggle out of the 43 of Wilkerson. That's going to allow Sean Rowe to his inside. And maybe Andretti Robinson will try to follow him through, but Wilkerson is not giving up here. He is not giving up that 3rd position without a fight. As he's going to pull even alongside Sean Rowe. And might even clear him. No, he will not clear him entering the corner. I think Sean Rowe might have this if he can drive it in just a little bit deeper. And yeah, he is clear. Sean Rowe is now your car in 3rd position as James Thurston is looking to work on the 44 of Van Drummond. A very nice and clean race so far. Only 13 laps in, as you saw Sean Rowe getting a little bit slidey. As Andretti Robinson looking to make the move on Wilkerson. Maybe Wilkerson burned up his stuff a little quickly, because he is fading back just a little bit. But he entered the corner a little harder than Robinson to avoid getting passed on the inside. It's a good defensive move from Wilkerson. But how long is that going to last? As Robertson looks to take the outside line, maybe build up a good run down the back straight into turn 3. Back to the leaders, it's Van Drummond, but with not a lot of room to breathe now that he has James Thurston right behind him, looking down his neck. As it looks like Thurston might get a good run off the corner here, side by side for the lead of this race. Thurston to the inside, entering turn 1. Van Drummond has to give. He's not going to fight it too much. And James Thurston has now taken the lead of this race. And looks like Wilkerson got into the wall a little bit. And Andretti Robinson looking to his inside. Maybe Andretti Robinson looking to force him up the track a little bit. Robertson got a little loose, had to sacrifice exit speed. With Van Drummond now all over the back end of Thurston once more, looking to retake that top spot, but can't get it done. Didn't get as good as an entry as Thurston, but he's gonna have a good run coming out of this corner. And with that draft, as Thurston goes halfway down the track to try to avoid it, then cuts back up. We're already having some draft snaking now. But that's going to allow Drummond to the inside. Thurston taking a much higher line will have to back off. And a bizarre bizarre chain of events leading to Van Drummond taking the lead back here at Motegi. This is for P number 8. Dominic Barbagallo and Henry Kaloff are doing battle here for the 8th position, as looks like Kaloff got a little loose, and he's going to have to surrender position to Malachi Drake, and now even Evan Allen, and even more cars, as we have a little bit of a stack up, as Nicholas Martinez Jr. makes it 3 wide through the middle of the corner. Looks like Kaloff might have scared the cars behind him a little bit and caused them to stack up. But Nicholas Martinez Jr. now backing off, even if he forced it 3 wide, now has to back off. But a good battle for 12th here between Evan Allen and Jordan Herring. They were not giving each other any sort of room, as Evan Allen goes way high, and he's going to get passed by both Martinez and I was about to say Miles, but looks like Miles just didn't have the positioning to get up to his inside before he could shut the door. But for the lead, it's still a battle between James Thurston and Van Drummond. These two have been at it like feral dogs for these past 20 laps. Sean Rowe sitting back in third, biding his time. Maybe he's hoping for a mistake, or maybe he's hoping that them battling will burn off their stuff. With these types of races, you gotta play a little bit of 3D chess. You gotta plan for moves or events that might happen in the future. So anything goes. The only thing that matters at the end is where you finish, and if you finish first, you're gonna be one happy man when this tough combo, these next gen cars at Motegi. But it looks like James Thurston's fallen off just a little bit. Maybe didn't get the corner that he wanted. As Henry Kaloff for 9th position was looking to the inside of Dominic Barbagallo. Might look for it on the inside of turn 1. Nope, not close enough. Barbagallo shuts the door, and he will retain the 8th position. Malachi Drake steadily working his way up. He started in 12th, if I'm not mistaken. And then, he started 17th, so he's making his way up fairly quickly. 7 positions in 20 laps. That's not too bad. As the 20 is the 201 of James Bomar gets in the wall a couple of times, so he's having a little bit of trouble keeping it out of the wall as he surrenders a position to Barbagallo as he nearly cuts across Henry Kaloff's nose. Kaloff wisely backing out of that not to cause an incident. Kaloff to the inside of James Bomar for this is position number 8. Bomar stuck to the outside line, but it looks like he might have a run coming off the corner. And with draft from Barbagallo, that's going to leave Kaloff the odd man out. But Kaloff's still on the inside of Bomar. He's going to have the preferred line through the corner, but can he make it stick? Some good racing for the latter half of the top 10. As these two battling has brought Nicholas Martinez Jr. closer to this battle, as Malachi Drake biding his time, kind of sitting with his thumbs twirling, saying, "When can I go? When will these guys stop battling?" As it looks like Bomar had a moment off the corner, and this is gonna give the line to Malachi Drake. Ooh, aggressive move by Malachi Drake. But it looks like Bomar starting to fade back a little bit. If I was Nicholas Martinez, I'd be going with that. Oh, yeah, I was just about to say I'd be going with that 09 as Bomar slams the wall. Visible damage on the front end of Nicholas Martinez. as well.
Caution, yellow flag is out. Stop the count.
I'm not saying that is intentional. What I am saying is that was dumb. Happened to be in the perfect timing and position camera wise to witness that. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut so I don't assume anything, but let's go back to that to see what led up to that. We'll be right back in just one moment. Okay, and we are back. And let's get a second look at this incident. So yeah, it looks like Bomar hits the wall. And then yeah, that's not really trying. He followed him up the track and then just went straight into his quarter panel. I don't think that he's going to. I don't think that the league owner, Andrew Schumacher, is going to be very happy with Nicholas Martinez Jr. As I think he might get a stern talking to at the end of this race. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was completely accidental and wasn't on purpose. But currently, Joseph Lewis has stayed out of pit lane. He was running a little bit in the back. Maybe he was preparing for this moment to lead. But I don't really see any benefit of trying to do any fancy strategies when tires obviously do mean a lot here. He is the only car to not pit. So you never know what's going through some of these drivers' heads. Never know what's going through Nicholas Martinez Jr.'s head. But that was something. I don't remember the last time I've seen something like that happen. But hey, that's what happens in iRacing. That's what happens in iRacing. Sometimes you tempers flare a little bit, and I guess Nicholas Martinez said, "Oh, the talking to I'm going to receive is completely worth the pleasure I will feel from wrecking this driver." But Nicholas Martinez Jr. was handed an end-of-line penalty, so he'll be starting from all the way in the back this restart, coincidentally, right next to his good friend, James Bomar. But Joseph Lewis has still not chosen to go into pit lane, and he chose to be on the outside line for this restart. Maybe he was just doing it to get a lap lead bonus or something. Not too sure. But maybe we'll have a super crazy awesome winner in Joseph Lewis, and I'm just a hater that'll be proven wrong. I hope so. That'd be cool. As we approach the 1/4 mark of this race. Pace car lights are off, which means that the pace car will go in pit lane this time by assuming no incidents happen under the pace lap. Your current top 5 is Joseph Lewis, Van Drummond, Sean Rowe, Jacob Wilkerson, and James Thurston. I think Van Drummond is going to be in a prime position, especially if he can time this jump in time with Lewis, because on restarts, the leader is the one who has control over the timing of the start.
Green flag, green flag, green flag.
And good start by Joseph Lewis. Van Drummond off to another not very good start, as we have Sean Rowe blocking James Thurston all the way to the apron. Jacob Wilkerson shoots through the middle. As it looks like, it looks like I was right about Joseph Lewis just wanting to lead some laps, as he will stay on the outside line. We have a whole kerfuffle back here, as Dominic Barbagallo to the inside of Henry Kaloff and Joseph Lewis, 3 wide for 8th place right now, as Joseph Lewis is going to slink all the way to the back. What a calamitous restart, as I thought we were about to go 4 wide with Miles, Lewis, and Suwinski, as we were just about to. Bradley Suwinski looked 4 wide with Bundren, Mills, and Lewis for a second, but wisely backed out. And that's all for 10th place. So crazy scenes here at Motegi. As let's head back up to the leader, Van Drummond pulling out a comfortable about 3 car length lead over Sean Rowe, looking to try to break the draft. Didn't really get any biters. So Sean Rowe looking to catch up, as James Thurston to the inside of of Jacob Wilkerson. I saw Caleb McKinney get into Henry Kaloff a little bit. And my mind thought of Dominic Barbagallo. Very similar looking cars. But now, he gets tight with Malachi Drake on his outside. McKinney has to back out a lot. That's going to allow Malachi Drake, who started in 17th, that's going to allow him to move all the way up to P7 so far. So good start to the race for Malachi Drake. But up front, Sean Rowe is slowly catching up to Van Drummond. He's cut the gap from about 4 tenths now down to 2 tenths. So exactly in half. But Van Drummond looks like he's going to be the car to beat, because he's been pretty hard to pass. He's been pretty hard to pass for anyone that's not named James Thurston. As you can see Sean Rowe clip the wall a little bit, as James Thurston actually sets the fastest lap of the race so far with a 37.1, but Sean Rowe all over the back end of Van Drummond in the middle of the corner. And I think if they battle, that might bring Jacob Wilkerson and Andretti Robinson to this battle for the lead. But it's currently right now a battle between Sean Rowe and Van Drummond, but James Thurston waiting in the wings for any mistakes to happen. As we approach lap number 34, we're past the 1/4 mark of this race. Big lunge from Sean Rowe, looking to try to get any inside motion on the 44, but can't get it done. That's going to sacrifice his exit speed to a faster James Thurston, who's going to try to power by on the outside. Good move from Thurston, as he is going to now work on trying to get to Van Drummond, as Jacob Wilkerson and Andretti Robinson doing battle for the 4th position. Side by side, Jacob Wilkerson fends off Andretti Robinson, but Andretti Robinson looking to get higher than 5th place right now. Let's go back a little bit. I thought I saw something. Might have been my imagination. No, I didn't. Matthew Miles and James Bomar battling for the 12th position. Bomar looking to the inside of Glenn Bundren while Miles is looking on the inside of Bomar. 3 wide coming into turn 3. This is for 12th position. Bomar looks like he's trying to have the drive of his life to get away from Nicholas Martinez. And he will take both, he will take the position from both Miles and Bundren, as he will now try to work on pulling away from him. But the battle for the lead has tightened up significantly. All 3 of these cars are now under a blanket within 2/10 of each other for the lead of this race. James Thurston looking to pull a move on Van Drummond. Can't get anything done. Looks like Sean Rowe will just follow whatever James Thurston's trying to do. But Van Drummond in control of this race. Sean Rowe looking to the inside of James Thurston, has to back out of it. And now Thurston looking to the inside of Drummond. Drummond closes the door. And he'll hold him off exiting turn 1. As I don't think Sean Rowe is actually as willing to compromise with James Thurston as much as I thought, as he's weaving around looking for places to get past James Thurston. A little bit of a slide from James Thurston out of the corner. But we still have a nice battle for P number 1 as Wyatt Roberts exits pit lane. That's the yellow car you saw on the bottom. And will Thurston make a move this time by? Looks like he just does not have enough distance to get within range. So he'll have to try another time, taking a little bit of a higher line through 3 and 4. Might have got a slightly better run than Drummond. Was able to close up the gap but not make anything of it. Yeah, you can see that Drummond is running a lower line while Thurston's opting to run a slightly higher line, maybe to get a good run down the back straight, as they are nose to tail like it's I-95 on rush hour down here. But also James Thurston running that middle line could also leave a hole for Sean Rowe if he's feeling a little aggressive. But Sean Rowe biding his time as we reach lap number 40. As Thurston slings it in there, I think he might have cooked it a little bit too hard, as that's going to allow Van Drummond to pull away slightly, and Sean Rowe looking for opportunities here to maybe pull off another win. But Van Drummond looking to cap off a good points run, as he didn't get what he wanted at Mid-Ohio after an incident early in the race, and looking for redemption after what seemed like a strong start. But here comes James Thurston, too, looking on his inside, can't get anything done just yet. As looks like Sean Rowe might be starting to fade back a little bit. Let's see. Nicholas Martinez Jr. battling Jordan Herring for the 12th position. Herring with damage on his right side. Looks like he hit the wall a little too hard one lap and did not get that damage repaired. So it's going to be a pretty easy move for Martinez to make as we go to the lead. I apologize. James Thurston to the inside of Van Drummond here. He's going to have the preferred line entering turn 4 or turn 3 and 4. Will he make it stick? Van Drummond still on his outside. Maybe a crossover might be in order here from Drummond as Thurston slid it a little bit on exit. Drummond's going to have the run entering turn 1 for the lead. Can Drummond hold him off? Drummond shuts the door firmly on Van Drummond. Nice move by Thurston to take the lead from Van Drummond. But Drummond's really good getting these runs off the corners. and with the run into turns 3 and 4, will he be able to do anything? Oh, he gets a little bit tight, but so does Thurston. They both have to back off a little bit. And nice defensive move by James Thurston to keep Drummond behind him. This is looking great for Sean Rowe. I mean, he's not going to have to drive as hard as these guys are, and he's going to keep pace. That's going to do wonders for his tires if he can just chill out in third place and let the two in front of him battle. But it looks like Thurston going to start working on pulling away from Van Drummond. But if he gets entries to the corner like that, that's not happening anytime soon. As Van Drummond all over the back end of James Thurston. To the inside, he'll have to back out of it. What a race we are having, and we're not even at lap number 50 just yet. All right, Van Drummond looking to mount a charge coming into turn 1. Looks like he doesn't have the run, and he'll have to sit right behind James Thurston. And looks like they're even pulling away a little bit from Sean Rowe. As you saw Drummond get a little loose on exit, but he gets a better run off the corner to the inside to Thurston's door. They are even entering the corner of turns 3 and 4. Is Thurston going to back off? I don't think he's going to. Oh, but he got tight on exit, and he scrapes the wall a little bit. Van Drummond to the lead of this race. Yeah, it looks like Thurston, in an attempt to try to hold Drummond off, pushed it a little too hard and got tight. Looks like it wasn't too hard of a hit, as he didn't lose too much speed from it. But those wall contacts add up. But that's not allowing Van Drummond to pull away anytime soon, as Thurston went from being right in front to right behind. So still hot on Drummond's heels here at Motegi. And yeah, it looks like they're going to be pulling away ever so slightly from Sean Rowe. Sean Rowe might not have first or second place speed, but if these two get tangled up somehow, then he could be right in the mix for the win. As it looks like when Van Drummond's leading, he's taking a much more conservative line. He's not swinging out as hard as James Thurston is to try to maximize the exit speed. I think he's just doing what he can to keep James Thurston behind him, and sometimes that's all you gotta do. Sometimes you don't gotta worry about being the fastest driver in the world. You just gotta focus on keeping the people behind you, keeping them behind you. But I think that the pushing that James Thurston was doing earlier to try to hold off Van Drummond is going to bite him in the butt, as he might not have the tire freshness that Drummond might have, just from how much he was pushing the car to try and keep Drummond behind him, as Drummond's starting to now pull away to about a 0.4 of a second gap entering turns 3 and 4. Coming back to the battle for 6th position between Henry Kaloff and Malachi Drake. Oh, as the caution is out. We'll have to see what it is for. So give me 1 second to see what caused that. Okay, we welcome you back to our replay. So we're focusing on James Bomar and a familiar face, Nicholas Martinez Jr. in the 48. So they're battling for position, and looks like, oh yeah, Bomar got a little loose. I don't know. Looks like he got a little loose, and then just in the process of catching the car, came down across Nicholas Martinez, and tough hit for both the 48 and the 20. So I guess the good thing is that it wasn't intentional this time. But bad mistake from James Bomar, and I don't know how much damage he can get repaired. As the winner off of pit lane is going to be Van Drummond in the 44 with James Thurston. Behind him, and then Sean Rowe, Jacob Wilkerson, and Andretti Robinson are your top 5. So not much has changed in the top 5. As, let's see, did Van Drummond get a speeding penalty? Question mark. It's not telling me. Give me 1 second to find out, folks. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why he has to drop all the way back. It's not explaining why Van Drummond has to drop all the way back to the back, but that's going to be huge for this race, and I'm sure Van Drummond's not too happy. The officials aren't telling us what it's for. I assume it might be for like an unsafe entrance, possibly. But that will put James Thurston in the top spot as Van Drummond sinks all the way back to the tail end of the lead lap. And let me turn this off. So now your top 5, with Van Drummond going all the way to the back, is going to be James Thurston, Sean Rowe, Jacob Wilkerson, Andretti Robinson, and Henry Kaloff, as we're getting close to the halfway marker of this race. Yeah, Van Drummond dropping all the way back to 15th right now. So from 1st to 15th, I guess due to some sort of penalty. Not very good, as the cars fan out for the choose cone rule. James Thurston, your leader, is going to be choosing the inside line, and Jacob Wilkerson's going to be on his outside. But Malachi Drake has made his way up to position number 5. Or not position number 5, position number 6. But he's choosing the inside line right here. SRL is interesting because we got the choose cone strategy, so adds a little bit of depth to the caution periods, which may seem a little boring. But it's like Jimmy Spencer said, you could start on the inside, or you could start on the outside and drop down 20th just by sole virtue of being on the outside. But pace car is off. James Thurston is going to be your leader and getting a good start. Looks like Wickerson was caught sleeping a little bit, as Sean Rose going to dive to the inside of Thurston. He's going to have to back out to avoid getting into him, as we have cars fanning out. There's Henry Califf on the outside. Malachi Drake in P5 right now. But that's Dominic Barbagallo looking to the inside of Henry Califf for P6. And then Malachi Drake under attack from Barbagallo. Glenn Bundren Jr., we haven't seen him all race, and he's worked his way inside the top 5. So we have 3 wide between Sawinski, Herring, and Van Drummond. Van Drummond doing his best to try to tear his way through the field to get back to that top spot. Sawinski's going way high, trying to avoid any issues that might come with Van Drummond's quest to get all the way back to the front. As they're banging doors, as Drummond looking to the inside of Matthew Miles. Van Drummond is on a mission, and he is not letting manners get in the way to his quest back to the lead. As Nicholas Martinez Jr. jumps to the inside of Bradley Sawinski, but now Van Drummond clear of anyone to his outside as he passes Caleb McKinney for the 9th position. As Drummond slaps the wall a little bit, gave it a little bit too much juice, exiting the corner as Caleb McKinney dives to his inside. This is gonna put Drummond on the outside. This is gonna be a tough move for Drummond to hold that position, but it looks like with the draft and help from Jordan Herring, looks like he'll maintain. Like Van Drummond will maintain 9th position as he continues his work to get up to the front. Caleb McKinney getting dangerously close to Jordan Herring. Luckily, they both race each other clean and keep each other out of the wall. Van has a little bit of a lockup from Glenn Bundren. Saw a little bit of tire smoke from him. So he flies up the track. Looks like he didn't hit the wall or anything. But that's a mistake you don't want to be making at Twin Ring. It's easy to lock up the tires in these cars and get them way heated up. It's just one less obstacle or one less roadblock for Van Drummond to deal with in his quest to get back to the front, as Glenn Bundren Jr. Pulling a little bit of a funky move. Might have gotten a little loose off the corner as McKinney battles Nicholas Martinez Jr. for the 11th position. Glenn Bundren Jr. doing his best to try to hold off the final spot of the top 10 as Martinez Jr. looking to the inside of Bundren. Can't get it done. A little bit of internet issues from the 48. But it looks like Martinez will pass Bundren for the 10th position. And I think the happiest driver in the field right now is James Thurston 3. He's pulled away from Sean Rove to almost a second. But Van Drummond to the inside of Dominic Barbagallo. Not a whole lot of a fight from Barbagallo. Smart move from him not to try to impede him and tick him off. So Van Drummond's now up to P7. He's going to have to work on Henry Califf. A little bit of a distance, about half a second separating Van Drummond and Henry Kaloff. But if there's anyone who can make up a lot of time, it is that number 44. This is for third place, Andretti Robinson looking to the inside of Jacob Wilkerson. Wilkerson getting really close. He has to back off. That opens the door for Malachi Drake to sweep in. Starting all the way in 17th, he's made his way up into almost a 4th position. But he's going to have to battle with Wilkerson as Andretti Robinson's going to try to pull away from these two. And Wilkerson getting a little tight in the center of the corner. Can Malachi Drake stay on his inside? Malachi Drake got a little loose and will have to slot in behind Van Drummond. Looking to the inside at Henry Kaloff for the 6th position. Kaloff giving him his run for his money to try and keep him behind, but I think Drummond's probably the fastest car on track right now, with the exception of James Thurston. Yeah, and James Thurston has pulled out to a 1.6 second lead over the 2nd place Sean Rowe, as the field singles out a little bit to so there's not a whole lot of side-by-side racing just yet, but I think that's going to change once Van Drummond pulls up to the backside of Malachi Drake. And I tell you what, Drummond has been hustling. Looking to the inside of Malachi Drake. Not there just yet, but he might have the run coming off the corner. Yep, to the inside of Malachi Drake goes Van Drummond. I don't think Malachi Drake is going to put up too much of a fight. Yep, gives Van Drummond more than enough room. Malachi Drake doing the smart thing, not trying to impede a much faster car. So Van Drummond has worked his way up from basically last to 5th place right now, as he's tearing through the lead pack. But this also poses the question of is he tearing up his tires doing so? Because, you know, it takes up even more tire wear to pass the person than trying to just catch up to him. And I think that's what James Thurston's thinking about right now. He's thinking, I have a 2-second lead over 2nd place, and the guy who's behind me is tearing up his stuff trying to catch up to me. I've got it made right now, but we still got about 54 laps left in this race. So an ill-timed caution can bring that big lead down to nothing for our current leader, James Thurston, who is just far and away from Sean Rowe. Andretti Robinson putting up a really good performance here in 3rd place. Looks like he's sort of content right now, just chilling behind Sean Rowe. His Jacob Wilkerson now has someone breathing down his neck, and that's Van Drummond looking for the 4th position. We've seen Drummond make comeback drives all the time. He did it at Michigan 1 or 2 seasons ago, where he came back from like 20 seconds back to win on the last lap. Maybe we'll have another one of those finishes here. But Andretti Robinson now hounding the back of Sean Rowe. But he didn't get a very good entry, and that's going to allow Wilkerson to pull close to Robinson. And now it's going to be who's going to make the move. Andretti Robinson looks at the inside of Sean Rowe, and Sean Rowe shuts the door. And now Robinson looking to the inside, or Wilkerson looking to the inside of Robinson. That's going to slow up both of them and allow Sean Rowe to pull away just a smidge, as I think Sean Rowe got a little loose on a corner exit and
slung it all the way to the bottom of the track. Thankfully, no other cars were on his inside, but now Wilkerson moves up, is going to try to move up to the 3rd position. Doesn't have the run off the corner that Robinson does. And we have some great racing here for the top 5. As Wilkerson looking to the inside of Robinson. But Robinson just has the run off the corner that you do not get from running that inside line. Good move from Wilkerson to block Van Drummond. Van Drummond trying to make it 3 wide all the way on the bottom. But that move is just gonna make him shoot up the track, entering the corner. And now Van Drummond all the way to the inside, looking to pick off 2 cars at once. To pick off both the 60 and the 43. 3 wide for the 3rd position here. As none of these cars are looking to give it up. Van Drummond with a little wiggle, and Andretti Robinson holding Wilkerson off, and looks like Van Drummond did not get a very good drive off the corner. As this brings Malachi Drake up to the battle for 3rd place. But Van Drummond looking to the inside of Andretti Robinson right now. Will he get anything to stick? He's got the inside, but will he have the run off the corner this time by? It looks like he does not. And Andretti Robinson, but he's not clear of Drummond. Andretti Robinson on the outside, doing his darndest, but I think he had to let it go. Got a little bit tight up top, and now Van Drummond moves to the 3rd position. He's now going to have to work on Sean Rowe as Jacob Wilkerson and Andretti Robinson do battle for the 4th position. So Van Drummond is now going to have to work on Sean Rowe, which is going to be pretty difficult to do. I don't expect Sean Rowe wanting to give up 2nd place anytime soon. But I don't think Van Drummond wants to stay behind Thurston, as Sean Rowe does something. I guess trying to break the draft, even though it really didn't do anything. So we have some nice single file racing between 2nd and 7th right now. And Van Drummond doing everything to try to get to the inside of Sean Rowe, but there's just nothing there just yet. Oh, but Rowe got a little bit of a wiggle off the corner, and big blocks thrown by Sean Rowe, but they were just a little too late. And now Rowe's doing his best to slow up Van Drummond as they're dooring each other for 2nd place. We got some really close race, and I was not wrong when I said that Sean Rowe did not want to give up 2nd place, as they are beating and banging. And this is perfect for James Thurston, as Sean Rowe looking to try to do the crossover, but looks like that won't be happening. But it makes you wonder, Van Drummond had to come all the way up from what, about 12th, 13th position to 2nd. And what will that do for his tires? But now he has to work on James Thurston, and time is running out. If he doesn't get a caution, he's going to need the best drive ever, as Jacob Wilkerson moves up into the 3rd position. And now Sean Rowe under attack from Andretti Robinson, blocking him all the way down to the inside wall. I don't think Andretti Robinson's going to be too happy with that stunt, as Jacob Wilkerson has cleared himself from the 99. And, contact between Sean Rowe and Wilkerson, nice save by the 99. I think Andretti Robinson had enough of his shenanigans and said, "You're out of here." But Rowe kept it off the wall. Nice job by Sean Rowe to not slam the inside wall and bring out a caution. But now Van Drummond has pulled up to over a second over Jacob Wilkerson and the rest of the field, and about 3.5 seconds behind James Thurston. So as we approach 41 laps to go here at Mobility Resort Motegi, things have pretty much fanned out here, as we get reports that Wyatt Roberts in the 75, or not the 75, in the 42, has pulled into pit lane. As I heard an engine expire, and a caution came out. Let's see what the cause of that was. That's going to be huge for Van Drummond, as that's exactly what he needed. So give me 1 second to find out the culprit of this accident. Okay, we welcome you back to our replay booth. And looks like Sean Rowe got a little loose, overcorrects, and hard into the wall. Yeah, that's his race done. It's so easy to get these cars loose through the corners, especially if you're trying to drive it hard to try to recover positions. And, well, one misstep, and that's all it takes. So this is a pivotal pit stop right now. It's like every car taking 4 tires and enough gas to fill them out for the rest of the race, maybe with a little bit of insurance in case of a green-white checkered. And it's like James Thurston is going to be your leader off of pit road. Jacob Wilkerson with a nice pit stop to get him in front of Van Drummond, which is probably going to put a thorn in. He's probably going to be a thorn in Van Drummond's side. Malachi Drake has made his way up to the 4th position. But if there was something that Van Drummond needed, it was a caution, and he got it. Van Drummond came from what I assume was a penalty on that last caution to all the way up to now 3rd place. He was 2nd place, and he's proven that he's one of the fastest cars in this field. So the battle between Van Drummond and James Thurston is not over, and I doubt it'll be over until the checkered flag. Because these are two very, very fast drivers who know what it takes to win in this league. But you also got a very fast Jacob Wilkerson separating the two in 2nd place. So as we pace under the yellow flag, your top 5 is currently James Thurston, Jacob Wilkerson, Van Drummond, Malachi Drake, and Henry Kaloff. Looks like it might be 2 laps to green here at Mobility Resort Motegi. James Thurston has been basically the car to beat so far. He's led most of the laps, really. It's not telling me how much he's led, but he's led a ton of laps. Probably going to be the winner of leading the most laps award by the end of this race. But the only lap that matters is if you lead the last one, as looks like Thurston and Wilkerson are going to be both on the outside, or not the outside, the inside line. Van Drummond and Malachi Drake both deciding to take the outside line and maybe try to score a position off of a good run off the corner. But if there's anything to be seen, it looks like Drummond has not been very good on the restarts. But that's just previous issues. As speaking of issues, something happening with James Thurston. I think he might have been having internet issues, or for some odd reason dropped to the back. I don't know why. Maybe he's trying to have a phenomenal comeback like Van Drummond is having. But as one of the fastest cars, I expect him to be back up in this top 3 pretty quickly. Pace car is off. Jacob Wilkerson is going to be the man in control. Nice start by Wilkerson, as that's Caleb McKinney right behind him in 3rd place. McKinney able to get to the inside of Malachi Drake, as Wilkerson now is tasked with holding off a hard-charging Van Drummond. Wilkerson, your pole sitter here for this race, mostly been sitting in 3rd or 4th position, but now has his time to lead once more. As we have some intense racing here. 3 wide for, I believe that's 8th place, as Martinez Jr. all the way to the bottom. James Thurston and Andretti Robinson looking to follow him to the inside. I don't know what happened to Andretti Robinson, but he's all the way in the back now. But James Thurston looking for blood. You could say he's thirsting for blood, as Nicholas Martinez Jr. looks to the inside of Jordan Herring for the 8th position. Back up front, Van Drummond is all over the back end of Jacob Wilkerson, looking to his inside, but he doesn't have the run. Wilkerson's going to cut off the lunge to the inside, and now Wilkerson's on the inside of Drummond. Thought about doing the long way around, could not get it done here at Motegi, as Malachi Drake has worked his way into the 3rd position. He could be a sleeper winner for this race. But looks like Drummond trying to build some sort of run on the exit of the corner. Will he be able to get to the inside of Wilkerson? Wilkerson blocks, tries to take away some of that momentum from Drummond. With Drummond to the inside of Wilkerson for the lead, with just over 30 laps to go. Wilkerson the long way around. Can he hold him off? He's going to have a good run off the corner. No help on the inside for Van Drummond. Can Wilkerson hold off Drummond from the outside line? This is perfect for drivers like Caleb McKinney and Malachi Drake to catch up and insert themselves into this battle, as already in P7 we have James Thurston. You saw him at the very top end of the shot right there. But now Van Drummond has made his way past Jacob Wilkerson. And now it is Wilkerson on the back foot. James Thurston set the fastest lap of the race, a 36.467, So he is absolutely flying and looking for a victory here in Motegi. And it looks like Henry Caloff looking to the inside of Caleb McKinney for the 4th position. McKinney giving him a lot of room, and Caloff slots his way into 4th position. And now he's going to have to work on Malachi Drake as Wilkerson slowly pulling away, Van Drummond slowly pulling away from Jacob Wilkerson as that gap expands to about half a second now. Van Drummond is driving the wheels off that car, and I bet another driver that's doing that too is James Thurston. But a complete roller coaster of a race that's been turned on its head multiple times over from multiple different angles. As James Thurston looking to the inside, looking to the inside of Barbagallo. Aggressive move, might even had a little bit of contact for that 6th position. Barbagallo racing him a little closer. Show maybe he wasn't too happy about that as Barbagallo scrapes the wall a little bit. But Thurston's going to have the inside line. He's going to try to lever his way through to the 6th position. But Barbagallo's putting up a fight. He is not letting James Thurston off easy, as Nicholas Martinez Jr. might try to pull something on these two drivers, as Thurston gonna try the crossover going from the middle line to the bottom, can't get it done, and that's just gonna put more distance between him and Van Drummond. A 2-second gap between Van Drummond and James Thurston. And Malachi Drake all over the back end of Jacob Wilkerson, doing his best to try and take away that 2nd spot. But I bet Van Drummond's breathing a sigh of relief right now that all of that time having spent to climb his way through the field is now being set upon James Thurston. But nice single file racing for right now, as no car really has the run able to be built up to contest with another one, but maybe that exception being Henry Caloff and Andretti Robinson looking to the inside of Nicholas Martinez Jr. These two doing battle. I think Andretti Robinson wants to get positions that he lost back, as he'll just barely slide in front of Nicholas Martinez Jr. For the 8th position. He was running, I believe, up in 3rd earlier. Now he's dropped back to 8th. As James Thurston now probably in a little bit of panic mode, having a blinking Dominic Barbagallo on his inside, blocking him all the way to the bottom of the track. I don't think Thurston's going to be too happy with Dominic Barbagallo in that number 17. And I think Thurston might be saying a little bit of words that we can't say on stream to himself right now. I'd certainly be doing that, especially if those antics are leading the cars behind me to catch up and me losing sight of my goal, because it was 2 seconds between Van Drummond and James Thurston, and now it is 2.5 seconds. Now that Thurston has gotten stuck behind Dominic Barbagallo for the time being, as time is escaping James Thurston. We're about to reach lap 100 out of 120 of this event. It looks like the closest battle is going to be this battle for 6th position. But I think at this point, Thurston might have used up some of his stuff, as he was racing really, really hard. And these drivers have been racing him really hard because, you know, it's the last 20 laps of the race. Who wouldn't want to race hard? As Andretti Robinson might be trying to mount a run on the outside line. And it looks like he might have it, as he's nose to tail with James Thurston not being able to get anything done. Big aggressive move by Thurston, diving to the inside of the 17. He's going to slide up in front. Barbagallo gets loose, and now he's put a buffer between him and Andretti Robinson, but the caution has come out, as that's exactly what happened. Jordan Herring has spun out and crashed. We'll get a replay on what happened in just a moment. Okay, we welcome you back, and to our replay booth, and let's see what happened. Looks like Jordan Herring got a little loose right in front of Bradley Zawinski, and yeah, there's not a whole lot that could be done. Yeah, just gassed a little bit too much. Got loose, overcorrected right in front of Zawinski, and sadly Joseph Lewis got a piece of it. But that's gonna take Jordan Herring almost surely out of this race. If it would let me, there we go. It wasn't allowing me to switch to Van Drummond, which would have been a little bit of an issue. But now everything is changed. Looks like multiple cars choosing to stay out of pit road. So these are your drivers on pit road. So yeah, you got Malachi Drake, you got Caleb McKinney, you got James Thurston, you got the 60 of Andretti Robinson, you got Nicholas Martinez Jr., you got James Bomar, who's made his way back up into the top 10. You got Suwinski, gets the 30 of Miles, and multiple other drivers, including Michael Deitch, who hasn't really made too much of a splash this race, running mostly in the back when we've been focusing on the front. But this is going to be a very interesting finish to this race, assuming we don't have any more cautions. A very interesting finish to this race, because now we have tire strategy in effect for this finish, and hopefully we don't have any more cautions. But what effect will the tires have on this finish? Because now James Thurston has about 20 lap fresher tires. That's a lot. That's a lot of laps, even for a short track like this. That's a lot of laps to be putting on tires, and when it's crunch time, that's what matters. Let me turn off the pit road graphic. So the drivers who have not taken any pit stops are Van Drummond, Jacob Wilkerson, Henry Califf, and Dominic Barbagallo, the drivers who have taken pit stops. Thurston, Drake, McKinney, Robinson, Bomar, Suwinski, Martinez, Miles, Lewis, Robertson, Deitch. Those are your drivers. So everyone from 4th on back has came into pit lane. And I think this is gonna really shake things up, because this might be the moment that bites first through fourth in the butt, or it might be that, or it might be Van Drummond, or maybe even Jacob Wilkerson, or hell, who knows? Henry Caloff could win this. You never know with the finishes to these oval races. So, coming to lap 103, I believe this time by the pace car will turn off their lights, signaling that it is 1 to green. Coming to lap 103 out of 120, we have 18 laps to go. Drummond and Barbagallo to the inside. Thurston also on the inside. So it's going to be your top three on the inside is Drummond, Barbagallo, and Thurston. And then the top three on the outside is going to be Wilkerson, Caloff, and Drake. See, Andretti Robinson has put himself in the mix. Maybe if things go awry. But Wilkerson has some great short run speed. But that's on fresh tires. So can he stay with the 44 of Van Drummond, and 2, can he pass him? You love to see late race tire strategy come to play in these races. We will come back to the green flag with 17 laps to go at Twin Ring Motegi. Pace car is off. Green flag is out. Van Drummond with a decent start, slightly better than Jacob Wilkerson. Wilkerson is clear of anyone on his inside. And here comes James Thurston all the way on the inside. These guys are going to be threats. As he looks to force it 3 on Caloff and Barbagallo. Oh, contact between Barbagallo and Caloff. Nice save by Henry Caloff. Wow. What a save by Henry Caloff. I'm sure he's furious, but I'm very impressed with that save. That could have, judging by how some of the cautions have gone earlier, that could have gone very, very wrong. And a nice save by Henry Caloff, even though it drops him about 10 positions. That's something to applaud. But now Dominic Barbagallo under attack from Caleb McKinney and Malachi Drake. But James Thurston looking to battle with Jacob Wilkerson. Wilkerson blocks the inside. Thurston looking to go high with the fresher tires. He might have more grip on the outside, and he's probably going to have a run coming off of turn 2. He got on the wall a little bit. That's gonna hurt his. It's gonna hurt his speed. He's gonna have to spend a lap trying to regain any of that momentum. And I'm sure that Van Drummond is looking in his mirror like crazy right now. James Thurston has set the fastest lap last lap with a 36.3. You see, all the way up top in the end of the shot, Nicholas Martinez Jr. has made his way into the top 10, getting around Dominic Barbagallo, and stuck behind Andretti Robinson as Barbagallo starts to drop like a rock with those older tires compared to the rest of the field. But James Thurston to the inside of Jacob Wilkerson. That's going to be for second place. We are going to have 13 laps to decide between James Thurston and Van Drummond, whose strategy paid off more, as James Thurston will have to make and overcome a 4/10 gap between him and the leader Van Drummond. James Thurston's a very capable driver. I'm sure he can do it, but will he have the time to do it within 13 laps? These are 30-second lap times. And you can see how much James Thurston is pushing that car to its limit. He is he's scraping the walls on corner exit. He is pushing this car so hard, and he's cut it down to under 0.3 of a second here at Motegi. We're having one of those classic SRL finishes. Drummond trying to break the draft a little bit. James Thurston within 2.5 tenths. Oh, Drummond gets really loose on exit. He's gonna try to block Thurston. Thurston down to the inside. Drummond cannot block that low. Thurston to the bottom. Drummond forcing Thurston to take a shallow angle and almost contact between the 96 and the 44 for the lead with 11 laps to go. Whew. Van Drummond on the outside. Can he hold it? I don't think he can. James Thurston to the bottom. Can Drummond pull some sort of crossover maneuver? Or are those tires of James Thurston's going to be the key to victory? He hasn't pulled away just yet. And Drummond still all over the back end of James Thurston, but Drummond really could have done without that slide on the exit of the corner. But you can just see how much more grip James Thurston has over Van Drummond on the exit of the corner. But James Thurston starting to now pull away, the gap widening to almost 0.3 of a second right now. That's Nicholas Martinez Jr. hounding the back end of Andretti Robinson for 5th place. As Andretti Robinson looking to try to catch up to Caleb McKinney. As we have 9 laps to go here at Mobility Resort Motegi. It's like Andretti Robinson looking to try to take a wider line as those drivers are catching up to Jacob Wilkerson. And I think Wilkerson will be happy to try to hold off a 3rd place spot right here against cars with newer tires. That's going to be difficult. But yeah, James Thurston, his speed plus the advantage the tires has it made, as I believe Van Drummond scraped the wall a little bit, as James Thurston has pulled away to almost a second lead, 8.5 tenths, separating 1st and 2nd place, as Nicholas Martinez Jr. has forced Andretti Robinson to take a higher line through the corner. Martinez Jr. looking for 5th place right here. Hasn't got it just yet, but Andretti Robinson is not clear. So if Martinez Jr. can take the fifth spot, this will be a good finish for him. But Andretti Robinson not giving up just yet, and he's gonna have that draft down the straight. But now Caleb McKinney with those fresh tires, looking all over the back end of Wilkerson, as Martinez nearly pushes Andretti Robinson into the wall. He is racing Andretti Robinson hard. But for the final podium position, looks like Caleb McKinney is looking to maybe get 3rd or even 2nd right here, as he has fresher tires than Wilkerson and Drummond has fallen off. James Thurston has pulled out to a 1.2 second gap. It looks like things have simmered down just a little bit here, as we have 5 laps to go, approaching lap 116 out of 120. The gap between 1st and 2nd is now 1.3 seconds. Oop, did not mean to go to him. I don't know why that went to him. To go to Jacob Wilkerson in third place. Looks like he's not. Looks like he might not be able to catch the the car in P2, Van Drummond in that bluey car, but he has been falling off. But certainly smacking the wall like that is not helping his chances of second place, as Wilkerson dives to the inside of Drummond, gets into Drummond. A little bit of contact as McKinney shoves Wilkerson out of the way. Now Nicholas Martinez Jr. Can Nicholas Martinez Jr. get a podium at Motegi after all of this calamity? It's certainly possible, folks. As 3 wide for this is 4th place right now. Martinez Jr. to the inside after Wilkerson gets moved out of the way. As Andretti Robinson looking to try to get 5th place. Nicholas Martinez Jr. looking to the inside of Caleb McKinney. And it looks like he won't be able to get there, as we have 3 laps to go. The gap has opened up to 2 seconds between 1st and 2nd place. I'd say it's pretty much a done deal unless a caution comes out. But now I think Nicholas Martinez Jr. is looking to get a podium, and Caleb McKinney might be looking to get 2nd place from Van Drummond. Van Drummond's tires has worn out. They're not much use, especially after that slide, after getting a nice little shove. As McKinney gets into the back of Drummond, showing his desire to move him out of the way. McKinney to the bottom. This is for the 2nd place, and then I believe, and then oh my gosh, I don't even know what's happening here, folks. 2 laps to go, and we're looking at the battle for 3rd, now 2nd. Nicholas Martinez Jr. has made his way up into 3rd place. White flag is out, folks. James Thurston's gone away. He has 2.5 seconds over Caleb McKinney. Can Caleb McKinney hold off Nicholas Martinez Jr. for 2nd? Or can Andretti Robinson all the way back in 4th steal a podium from Nicholas Martinez Jr.? Martinez dives it in on McKinney. Tries to move him out of the way. Contact between the 48 and 76. As Nicholas Martinez Jr. hits the inside wall. I don't believe that he got 2nd place. He got 2nd place just barely over Caleb McKinney. But your winner, I apologize for not covering him finishing the crossing the start-finish line. That was a crazy race for 2nd. Your winner is the 96 of James Thurston 3. Overcame a couple of setbacks. But he was the car to beat, as he does a nice little burnout to impress the virtual Japanese fans. Nice run from both the 48 of Nicholas Martinez Jr. and the 96 of James Thurston. We'll get your results in just a second. Okay, unofficial results are your winner, James Thurston, in the number 96, coming off with a pretty dominant win even after overcoming setbacks. And 2nd, about 3 seconds behind, is Nicholas Martinez Jr. Surprising podium position for him in that number 48. Caleb McKinney in 3rd, just barely losing out on 2nd to Nicholas Martinez Jr. Andretti Robinson claws his way back up to 4th. Van Drummond goes from leading on the final restart to a 5th place finish. Malachi Drake in P6. Jacob Wilkerson falls from 2nd to 7th. And Matthew Miles rounds out a strong top 10 performance in position number 8. James Bomar and Wyatt Roberts 9th and 10th respectively. Oh. Give me 1 second. Okay. Is it going to show me the next one? There we go. All right, Bradley Sawinski in the 82 is the first car outside of the top 10. Joseph Lewis in the 28 in 12th. Dominic Barbagallo started, I believe, in 4th on the last restart. Had to drop all the way back to 13th. Henry Kaloff had that incident with one of those very colorful cars. I believe it was Barbagallo. Went from 3rd all the way to 14th. Michael Deitch, last of the running cars, in 15th. 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th are all out. Jordan Herring, Glenn Bender Jr., Sean Rowe, Evan Allen, and Keelan Belsha. And Bryce Hamrick and Connor Zola both did not do this race. I believe Bryce Hamrick accidentally registered when he was supposed to do race control. But those are your results, and soon we'll have your you'll have your top 3 finishers in the interview booth. Please stand by for just 1 second. I just realized I forgot to. Wow, I apologize. I am so sorry. I don't have a feed of the chat rolling, and I didn't get any notification of it. I apologize. That was a great finish, and I flubbed it up. I don't even know what to say. I apologize. Anyways, I'm thoroughly embarrassed. Let me get our first interview person in the booth right now, and that would be Caleb McKinney. Let me see if I can get him in here. Hey, so we got 3rd place driver Caleb McKinney in the number 76 here. You had a pretty strong run on that final start. Was it the tires that made the difference to get you from you were about 6th most of the race to finishing 3rd? Caleb McKinney, do you got a copy? Ooh, not hearing anything from him. Okay. Well, in 2nd place, it is Nicholas Martinez Jr. We'll bring him into the booth. Give me 1 second. All right, Nicholas Martinez Jr. in 2nd place, a very strong run. Tell us how that last restart unfolded.
Yeah, that last restart was wild. So we started off. I'm not sure where we started off at, but I remember I got a bad pit stop. I overshot my pit stop, and then we had to, recover from that, and in trying to recover from that on that last restart, I tried to dive down to the inside, got blocked a bit, and it just wasn't going good at all. But then we started finding some speed in our 48 car, our Ruffles 48 car, Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse. We started finding speed, and we started passing people left and right. But as we got up to the top 5, started getting harder and harder to pass. So in the final few laps of the race, 10 laps ago, we just started looking for people to make mistakes, and that's what they did. They started making mistakes while we remained consistent. We are running like consistent 36-second lap times. I don't think we ever set a lap time above 36 seconds in those final few laps. So everyone around us were just making mistakes, and we really executed on that. We saw people battling, and we were just like, okay, let's just stay here. They're eventually going to slow themselves down, and that's what they did. So we kind of picked up on that and just drove off. And then at the end there, it was really hard to get around Barbagallo, but I knew I was faster than him. So coming into turn 1, I was going to try to give him the bumper, but I thought ultimately that it was way too early to give him the bumper. So then entering 3 and 4, we had a pretty big gap, like 1 or 2 sides car gap. And I thought I wasn't going to get into him, but he just braked really, really hard comparably to maybe 2-3 laps ago, and that allowed us to get up to his bumper, push him out the way, and ultimately get a second place finish.
Nice work. And regarding the incident between you and James Bomar, it looked a little intentional. What happened?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't intentional at all. What happened was Bomar hit the wall. We're actually teammates. Bomar hit the wall, and I got into him, and I was like, "Bomar, I'm firing you." I said over the I was gonna say over the race chat, "Bomar, I'm firing you off the team." And as I was saying that, I'm not sure if I overshot the corner or if he braked too early. I don't know what happened, but I got into him, and then like I was just like stuck on the radio saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." But yeah, it wasn't intentional at all. It was just kind of a funny moment that we both had, and we were joking around on our team voice chat saying, "Yeah, we can't stay around each other. We're just gonna end up, wrecking each other more and more if we just stay around each other." So yeah, that wasn't intentional at all. It was just kind of a funny moment that we both didn't mean to happen. When he initially hit the wall, I wasn't mad. When I got into him, he wasn't mad. It was all jokes. There's no intention behind it. It was just completely accidental.
Well, that's good to get that out in the clean air. Before I let you go, is there any sponsors or people you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse, Ruffles, Bass Pro Shops, and I just want to thank my teammates. The 43 car is actually my teammate. If he wasn't racing those cars so hard, I would never been able to get that second place finish. But ultimately, he did sacrifice his own race. That led to me getting that second place finish. And last thing I want to say is you should definitely interview the winner, James E. Thurston. He's in podium winning room.
Yeah, I was planning on doing that, but thank you for your time and a good result for Mr. Nicholas Martinez Jr. We'll see you next time, buddy.
All right, see ya.
Okay, and finally our race winner, James Thurston, in the number 96. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you run a pretty mostly dominant race, and then you had a fall back to the end of the line. What happened on that second to last restart?
I haven't even looked over it yet. I'm just gonna say, I probably did deserve the penalty. It was I was trying to play some games there in the choose, and Wilkerson didn't check up for it, and I ran through the middle of the line, I guess, and they penalized me for it. So I don't think I really should have been penalized for what they penalized me for, but I probably should have been penalized.
So I saw that on your drive back, it seems like you were having a pretty tough time getting around that number 17. What made him so difficult to get around? Because you were stuck behind him for quite a while, and that might have hampered your efforts a little bit to get up front a little bit quicker.
It's just a dirty air here. I was plenty quick. I pulled away from those guys by like 7 seconds on the prior run, and then you just get behind them, and this track is so one lane on the bottom that if you can't run down there and they block it off, which they were doing really well, you just can't really do anything. And I started putting the bumper to a couple of guys. I don't think they were too happy about it, but it's how I got some passes made, and it's really the only way that you could get passes made. And yeah, eventually that yellow came out, pretty much saved me right there. The leaders stayed out, didn't take tires because they thought they weren't going to matter that much, and I went in and took 2, and yeah, they mattered, and we ended up winning. Just glad to get it done here for Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports. Just really cool.
All right. So before I let you go, is there anybody or people you want to thank?
No, just Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports, as always, for the very fast race car this evening. And they can't keep us down, man. They can penalize me whether I deserve it or not. I'm gonna come back every time and win the race as long as I'm still running. Just also we did have we had Fern on the car from Freerun this race because it's in Japan. So yeah, she went to victory lane with us. So that's cool. And yeah, see you guys next race.
Alrighty, that is our race winner, James Thurston. We'll see you next time, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up our broadcast here tonight at Twin Ring Motegi. My name's Garrett Hess. I'm the person responsible for accidentally leaving on this screen, for accidentally leaving on that screen, during the most important part of the race. I apologize. I did not have a chat feed running, so I did not know, and I did not get any notifications, so that is all on me. So write your David your complaints of my coverage. Anyways, that will do it for tonight's event here at Twin Ring Motegi. A great race with a little bit of realistic broadcast issues. So my name's Garrett Hess.